always been kind of fascinated with how things are built. I was that kid that when I got a new toy, the first thing I did was take it completely apart. And I ruined a lot of really good toys that way. It's just always been my personality or part of my character. I enjoy building things. I enjoy that feeling when you step back and you look at it and go, I built that, or I cruise through town with my son and we can drive by the school that I'm working on and say, I was a part of that. I helped build that parking lot there. Tried going to college a couple of times, but I always ended up having a hard time in school. I'd always do good through the first part, and then once I started running out of money and having to live off ramen and couldn't do anything, I started getting antsy, and so I'd drop out of school and I'd go back to work. I've always kind of been handy. So in college, I'd found a couple of oddball jobs, helping guys build houses. I roofed for a summer, worked at a cemetery for a while in college. That's where I started getting my first experience running equipment, digging graves with a backhoe. It was hard because a lot of the jobs were just really seasonal, and so you'd find that job, you'd work it for the season, and then come wintertime you had to find something else. And I did that off and on for a couple of years, and the college thing just wasn't working out, so I always stuck with jobs in construction because of the money that I could make there. The logistics of it can be challenging, but on the same token, you get some really neat areas like this where you just got some great views. There's nobody else around except us guys working. Not far off the coast in Oregon, we're going through this building scaffolding up the outside, and I get to the very top of this 3-story building, and at this point it's just a cinder block wall, but realize that I can see the ocean from where I'm at, so I just kind of sit there for a minute. I can almost smell it a little bit, and I was just dating my wife back then, and I even sent her a text standing up there, and she starts freaking out. What are you doing? Get off there. And I just kind of laugh and get back to work. But it was one of those moments where you get it's kind of peaceful, actually. My son, he absolutely loves equipment, period, and just like any little boy, anytime he sees it or can come and sit in it, and we were redoing our lawn and I brought home a skid steer and he loved it. He sat in my lap for half an hour while I moved dirt in the backyard. I can't help but smile even just thinking about it. It's really cool. It kind of comes back to that sense of pride, saying, I did that, I built that. Well, now my kids see that and go, hey Dad, you did that, you built that, and it's really neat for me to kind of relive that and see it through their eyes, and you just kind of take it in and really enjoy where you're at and what you're doing. And construction has always been there for me. It's always ended up turning up when I needed a good job and I was either in a bind, or regardless, it's one way or another, it's always worked out well for me.